phrase "be yourself" is probably the most overused, underexplained phrases in existence. People say it like it's supposed to be helpful, like it's obvious, something that you can just decide to do. But when somebody tells me that, it's just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Be yourself. Like, you trying to date somebody, you want to get new friends, you want to start a business, you want to post content or whatever the case, and it's just like, be yourself. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, why are you telling me to be myself? So I can say this: it's fucking terrible advice if you don't tell someone how to do it. For a lot of us, being ourselves has never been safe. I didn't learn that being myself led to acceptance, love, or belonging. I learned that being myself led to consequences: abandonment, rejection, criticism, judgment, being laughed at, misunderstood, etc. So I suppressed myself. And now, as a grown-ass adult, 25 years old, people over here telling me to be myself. And it's just like, well, I don't know who the fuck I am to be myself. And all I know is what I've been taught, or basically the mask. All I know is the mask that I've been wearing. I don't know who I truly am. So today I want to let you know 3 things. Number 1, I'm going to give you practical steps as to how you can actually become or be yourself. Number 2, being yourself can be hard at first, but with practice it becomes natural and deeply fulfilling. And number 3, self-awareness and authenticity is not optional. If you want joy, peace, fulfillment, self-actualization, and to genuinely fall in love with life, you have to know who you are, and you have to embody yourself, who you are, your purpose, your passion, who you are at the core. You have to embody that person, because that is who you are. And if you do not, your soul will literally rot from the inside out, causing all kinds of shit that we will talk about later on in the video. So number 1, I'm going to give you 2 practical ways that you can learn who you are and get closer to yourself, build a deeper relationship with yourself. And that is 1, start questioning yourself. You can literally do some introspection, reflection, and journaling, and ask yourself questions. You can do a question a week, a question a day, and just journal it out. And allow yourself to first of all, be honest with yourself. Don't criticize or judge yourself. And, just give yourself a safe space to actually express and be without judgment, without trying to figure things out. Just, be patient with yourself. Give yourself grace and allow yourself to literally ask yourself a question and wait for an answer. So literally you can just ask yourself, like, for example, what are my beliefs? Why are these my beliefs? Are these beliefs that I was programmed into believing, or are these my genuine beliefs? What are my values? And is my life aligned with my values? Why are these my values? You know what I'm saying? Literally ask yourself these questions, and you can receive answers, because you will never really know the answers to these questions unless you ask yourself these answers. Well, unless you ask yourself these questions. So, moral of story, most people never question themselves. They question their circumstances, their job, relationships, mood, but they never question the internal driver. You will never get the answers you are seeking unless you ask the questions. So ask yourself the questions. Reflect on who you were as a child. What did you like to do, before the trauma and the programming and the, people making you feel like you're not enough and you need to stop this, or whatever the case, feel like you're too much, whatever the case, whatever they did. Before all of the fuck shit, who were you? What did you like to do? Me personally, I liked teaching as a kid. Like I'm an only child. So I would literally I have a whiteboard. I had this whiteboard since I was a little fucking kid, literally. And I had like a stand back then. Now it's just kind of up here. But I would literally get some expo markers, have me put the whiteboard on there and act like I was teaching. I would just scribble little shit. It didn't even have to mean anything. I would just write it out and pretend I was teaching to an entire class. I would pretend that I was a doctor. I would have like a piece of paper, and I would pretend that I was like writing something out, and then I would like flip it over, and I would be like the patient and the doctor, and I would basically just pretend that I was like diagnosing people, but it would just be me. I also when I pretended I was a scientist, I had like a little microscope, and I would like microscope. I had a microscope, and I would like put like little shit in there, like anything I could find. Honestly, I would just put it in there to look at it, and food, anything, whatever I found, whatever I saw, whatever I was curious about, I put it in there to see what it would look like. And I also would get my laptop like I'm doing now, and I would just make movies though. Like I would be the only person starring in these movies, and I would just be the main character. I would be the villain. I would be the audience. I would be everybody. Like I would just be in everybody in that movie, and I would just be in my room going crazy, being the only person in there. So if you tie all of that in, I am actively teaching. I'm a researcher, scientist, and I use videos to get my message out. And so yeah, I think everything has kind of tied in together. That like that is what I'm doing. That is what I enjoy doing. And that is what I've always enjoyed doing, even as a kid. So that's why I'm saying, ask yourself what are things that you like to do as a kid, and then see how you can tie that into um, your mission or your goal or whatever you're doing. You also need to know like your purpose and stuff like that, your passion. What are you passionate about? And you can literally ask yourself these questions. And if you want like a deeper, like a little cheat sheet or whatever, I would look into my astrological natal chart. Not horoscopes. I'm not telling you to look at the horoscope of the day. I'm telling you to look at your natal chart, which is basically like a snapshot or a screenshot of where all the planets were placed at the exact time, location, date that you were born at. And basically the planets or the stars and everything like that has certain energies around certain times of year. Like for example, you can't necessarily say that the moon does not directly influence us and our emotions and how we are, because the moon controls the tides in the ocean and stuff like that, low tides, high tides. If it's a full moon, it just affects the water and stuff like that. And we are made up of, that's not the exact same percentage. Don't quote me on this. I believe the earth is made up of, actually we can just look it up right here. I got my phone. I believe the earth is made up of about 65% water or something like that. How much water is the earth made of? Yeah. So the ocean's covering about 71% of the earth, right? 71%. And for humans, it's 60%. The point is, overall, we are also made up of water, just like the earth. And so you can't say that the moon does not directly influence and control the currency within our bodies. So it's a long story, but all I'm trying to say is look up your natal chart. You can look it up on CoStar. You can go to astro.com or Cafe Astrology, whatever you want to use. Look it up and it'll tell you. I like to use CoStar or astro.com because you can literally see what house it's in and what sign it's in clearly, and it's not like in Roman numerals and all that kind of shit. And you can clearly see, okay, Sun, Virgo, 7th house, or whatever house it's in. And you can go on YouTube, you can type in Sun and Virgo, and you'll have a whole bunch of videos talking about Sun and Virgo. And then you can put Sun in 7th house or whatever house your Sun is in, and it'll tell you everything about Sun and 7th house. You can look up articles online on Google. You can ask ChatGPT, and you can look at YouTube, and you can just kind of study your entire chart. I would break the chart down in like threes. So I would look at the sun, moon, and ascendant or rising first, and then you can look at like Saturn, Mercury, Mars, and then you can go to Venus. You can just look at it little by little, and then do the houses last. But yeah, I also have free blog posts. One teaching you how to find your natal chart, and I have another one teaching you how to read your natal chart. And within that blog post, there is a free like 1 hour lecture of me doing a voiceover showing you how to like look at your natal chart, what the houses mean, what the signs mean, and all that kind of shit. And eventually I'll probably make more videos on each sign, each house, just so you can have it from me. But I think that is a very, very, very great way to jumpstart the process of self-awareness and knowing yourself. It can literally show you who you are at the core, your emotions, how you express your emotions, and why you express them in the way you do. It can help you understand your let me see. Sorry, I got distracted a little bit. It can help you understand your purpose, your passion. It can help you understand how you are in love, what you're attracted to, and why. It tells you everything about yourself. But I don't want you to use astrology and adopt it as your identity. I want you to use it as a cheat sheet to kind of question more and experience more and, provoke, thought-provoking questions and provoke, curiosity to help you dive deeper within yourself to see if you resonate with these things. But anyway, yeah, those are the two tools that I'm going to give you today. Just number one, question yourself, journal, and, provide a safe space for yourself. When I say safe space, I mean, don't judge yourself. Don't try to overly figure out everything. Don't criticize yourself. Don't rush yourself. Just be patient. Just talk to yourself like you would want someone to talk to you. Handle yourself like you would want someone to handle you. And, build that relationship with yourself. Talk to yourself. Literally, you can talk to yourself in the mirror. You can talk to yourself in the shower. You can go for a walk and talk to yourself. But you need that isolation to kind of, you need isolation and stillness to kind of, I guess, hear yourself. You know what I mean? So, yeah, those are two ways that you can start with actually learning who you are. So when they say be yourself now, you have to know yourself first, right? And then this is the first step, knowing yourself. Journaling, reflecting, asking yourself questions, and also using your astrological natal chart. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about is practicing in real time, using my notes, because I have a blog post on this. I can put that in the description, but the blog post is called Be Yourself is Terrible Advice Unless Someone Shows You How. And that is basically what the video is called. So, yeah, but I basically go deeper on the information in here. This is just me going briefly over everything that I wrote down already, or that I journaled. Well, not journaled. That I wrote. Let's see. Practice in real time. People always say you need to heal, grow, and improve, but it feels overwhelming and out of reach. Where do you start? Well, you start in real time. So, what I'm going to say here is, let's say that you are trying to stop being a people pleaser. That is the example that I have in the blog. So let's say you want to stop being a people pleaser. You don't just try to say, you know what, I'm not a people pleaser anymore. I'm just going to cut it out. That is a part of it. You know what I'm saying? You have to embody the version of yourself that you want to become. That is true. But you can't expect yourself to just not fall victim to some of the urges and triggers, especially in the beginning. It starts with repetition. Whatever you repeat and whatever you prove to yourself with evidence, that is what your subconscious will adopt, and that is what you will become normal for you. So, for example, you want to stop being a people pleaser. Okay, I'm not a people pleaser anymore. You just simply say that, and then you can, whenever you notice that you're in certain situations, like for example, let's say somebody asks a little bit much of you, you really don't want to do it, you pause and you say, okay, is this something that I genuinely want to do? And will this drain me mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, or physically? Will these things drain me? And is this something that I want to do? If you can't answer yes, well, sorry. I'm trying to let me just get this right. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so you pause. You ask yourself, am I doing this? Number one, am I doing this because I genuinely want to, out of kindness and authenticity? And number two, do I have the emotional, mental, financial, social, and energetic capacity to do this? Both of these questions must be true. If these are not true, you can also ask yourself, okay, or am I doing this because they want me to, and I want to avoid conflict, confrontation, or disappointment? If it's the second one, then you are people pleasing. All right. So, and you can do this with everything. Every time you kind of feel the urge to do something, or before you make a decision, you pause and you ask yourself these questions, and then you go from there. And choose the one that you wouldn't normally choose. Choose the one that's not people pleasing, because if you want to stop being a people pleaser, you choose the one that is aligned with your desired self, not being a people pleaser. And you continuously do this, and the more you repeat it, the more normal it becomes. So then eventually you will no longer be a people pleaser. And then you can do this with anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be with people pleasing. You can do this with any habits that you have. If you want to smoke, okay. If you're trying to stop smoking and you want to smoke, okay, first say, I'm not a smoker anymore. What does a life of a non-smoker look like? What would a non-smoker do? What choices would a non-smoker make? And then you start aligning your actions with those choices. Same thing with your purpose. What is my purpose? Okay, this is my purpose. I want to live in my purpose. I am someone who lives in my purpose. What does the version of me who lives in their purpose look like? How do they feel? What do they do on a daily basis? Okay? And then you practice it in real time. When moments come up when you realize you might not be aligned with your purpose, you pause, you think and reflect on it, and you say, okay, yeah, this isn't aligned. So what could I make that would be aligned? And then you make that choice. You continuously make the choice that is shifting, the choice that changes. You continuously make that choice. You repetitively do that. And when you do that, you reprogram your subconscious. And whenever you reprogram your subconscious, it becomes natural for you. And over time, you won't necessarily have to think about doing it. It'll just become natural. It's like, yeah, I don't do that. Or I do this instead. And, next thing you know, the habit or the old way of being or thinking will be diminished, and then the new version of you will be born, and it will be normal. And then you can do that with anything in your life. So you practice in real time. When you notice some shit, you pause, you ask yourself the question, is this aligned or is it not aligned? All right, if it's not aligned, I gotta take this shit out. I gotta go with what's aligned, and you continuously choose the alignment. You don't ever choose the other one. You continuously choose. And when you do, you don't feel bad about it. If you do choose the other one, if you do choose the one that's not aligned, you don't feel bad about it. You just reflect on it and say, okay, I did that this time. This can't happen again. And you keep choosing the alignment. And next thing you know, you will become what you desire to be, or who you desire to be. All right. So the next one is being yourself is a psychological necessity and not a luxury. Just as your physical body needs vitamins, your psyche needs congruence. When the body lacks nutrients, deficiencies arise. The same applies to identity. When you're disconnected from yourself, internal deficiencies form. Being yourself is an act of self-love and self-respect. It provides direction, clarity, and stability. So it's not a choice. Being yourself or choosing yourself or aligning in your purpose is not a choice. I mean, it is. But what are you choosing? You get what I'm saying? It's two choices in life. You either choose alignment with your purpose or choose misery. Because you can suppress yourself. You can mask your identity. You can mask who you truly are. And you can only do that for so long before you start feeling stressed out, feeling anxiety, losing confidence, losing self-esteem, feeling worthless. You know what I'm saying? You can only do it for so long before you start feeling depressed. And you can literally get like, let me go to here. Without self-awareness and authenticity, common deficiencies include, and not even just self-awareness and authenticity, but also striving to actualize your highest potential, striving to live in your purpose. Deficiencies for this includes chronic anxiety, persistent depression, emotional numbness, constant stress, low motivation, low energy, people pleasing, burnout, resentment, identity confusion, coping mechanisms like escapism and denial and whatever else. You can look up Freud's coping mechanisms and you'll see a list of different coping mechanisms that people may do. And you also have decision paralysis, identity confusion, self-sabotage, unfulfilling relationships, lack of purpose, emptiness, chronic dissatisfaction, feeling like life is happening to you instead of through you. And these are not random, they're signals that you're living out of alignment with yourself. And they will only get worse with time. It may start out as a quick, a little bit of discomfort, and you keep pushing through. Like, for example, you work in a job that you hate, but you're doing it because it gives you good money. And, you have all this materialistic shit, but you feel worthless. You have to continuously trade your time for money. You're always limited. You have no freedom. And you hate your boss. Your boss may treat you like shit, whatever the case, right? And you continuously do this because it makes your kids happy it makes you happy and your kids happy to be able to get them gifts and things for Christmas. It makes your wife happy to be able to have a nice home, a nice car to drive in, but you're miserable because you have to continuously work this job that you don't like. And it may feel In the beginning, it may be like, it's discomforting, but I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna just keep doing it because this is, I like the money part, but it makes my soul rot. It makes my soul feel. It hurts my soul. You know what I'm saying? It hurts my soul. It hurts my mental, and it hurts my emotions, and that bleeds into other aspects of your life. And over time, it only gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And the coping mechanisms get stronger. The escapism gets stronger. You know what I'm saying? And over time, you realize you have a life full of regret and misery. You feel like shit. You will feel like shit. Literally, just look around. Look around at your examples in life. Your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your family, your friends, other people's family. You know what I'm saying? Look around at the people in your life. Do you want to live like them? Do you want to end up like them? Do you want to look like them when you get old? Is that the life that you see for yourself? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I know I kind of branched off a little bit, but overall, being yourself, it's not about being someone outside of yourself. I know that kind of sounds like crazy, but it's not about being someone outside of yourself. It's about being who you are at the core. Reinventing yourself is not about becoming someone different. It's about becoming who you already are, the person that you suppressed, the person that you told that wasn't good enough, the person that was told that they weren't good enough. The version of you that was told that they weren't good enough, that they shouldn't express themselves, that they should mask themselves, that they should not be vulnerable, that they should not, be expressive and creative. You know what I'm saying? Express their ideas. And I have something written on my board too. We need to redesign the program version of ourselves because we have been programmed, and that's going to be in other videos, future videos. I'm trying to find it because I wrote like a bunch of topic ideas here. So let me see. I guess I can say this. I kind of, that's not up there, but I'm gonna just say this. Don't become some fucking weirdo. Become you. You're not becoming someone outside of you. You are becoming you. That's it. You're becoming a human. You, the person, the version of you that is yearning to get out, bro. You literally have dreams. You have goals. You have things that you would love to do. You know what I'm saying? You want to try new foods and you want to, go to different countries or something like that. And you can't because you're letting the fear limit you from getting on a plane because you're afraid of planes. Like, you're afraid of heights. So you're going to limit yourself from certain experiences. Fear is limiting. It's nothing but anxiety. It's nothing but something that you're fearing, something that hasn't even happened yet and probably won't ever happen. All right? And if you're afraid of something that could happen, it's just like change your perception of it. You know what I'm saying? Change your perception of it. And that's it. But, overall, it's about congruence. Aligning with the version of yourself that is the highest version of yourself. Aligning with your purpose, your passion. Aligning with your soul. Congruence. It's not performance. It's not something that's performative. Like, you're doing it because everybody else is doing it. Like, for example, the spiritual community. I was a part of that community. I had all the crystals on, rocking all the crystals and all this kind of stuff, but it's not about the identity of spirituality. It's about doing the work. It's about doing the shadow work, diving deep within. It's about, loving yourself and genuinely connecting to nature, not just hugging a tree because that's what spiritual people are supposed to do, hug trees and shit. You hugging a tree because you genuinely want to absorb the information from the tree, the energy from the tree. You know what I'm saying? You want to ground yourself. You're getting sunlight because it feels good, not because they tell you that you're supposed to be in the sun and do yoga. You're doing yoga because you don't want your body to be tense. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the identity or the appearance or the performance. It's about embodiment. It's a lifestyle. So, and that's the same thing with whatever. That's just an example. But I'm gonna read this last prompt here, or the last paragraph here. Being yourself isn't about being loud or rebellious, being different for the sake of it, or about rejecting society. It's about congruence. Inner world matching outer choices. values matching actions, needs being honored instead of ignored. Being yourself doesn't eliminate discomfort, it eliminates self-betrayal. That's that. So, oops, my bad. If you are interested in more information or more a deeper dive on the topic, I guess, then please subscribe to my newsletter. It will be linked in the description, and I will also have this particular blog post linked in the description as well. And subscribe, like, comment, share for more content like so. I'll definitely be posting more content surrounding self-actualization, identity recreation, lifestyle design, and whole person development, and basically a holistic lifestyle that leads you to self-actualization or unlocking your highest potential. When I say whole person development, I'm talking the 6 fundamental aspects of life, which would be the mental, physical, emotional, financial, social, and spiritual. All of these need to be balanced, developed, and mastered in order to actualize your highest potential. So, stay tuned for more information. I'll be making videos on all of these topics and how we can free ourselves from society's rules, and free ourselves from the matrix, if you will. But yeah, peace.